what is the difference between a Fede ring, a Gimmel ring, and a Claddagh ring? Take this journey down the bunny hole with me, and let's find out the difference between these beautiful, amazing historical rings. The Romans were the first to exchange rings as a means for sealing a contract. The Fede ring is the ring that is mostly associated with matrimony. The Fede ring is considered the earliest known representation of the wedding ring. Exchanging the ring was a way for the betrothed to pledge an engagement of marriage, which most considered a contract of love, and to accept the ring meant that the union was binding. The term Fede is Italian for faith, fidelity, and trust. This symbolism is apparent in the Roman phrase mani in fede, which means hands clasped in faith. Fede design depicts two right hands clasped together in agreement, which is called dextrarum unitio. It signified a pledge for the couple makes to one another in harmony, affinity, and in loyalty. One hand represents the hand of the bride, and the other hand belongs to the husband. You can see the difference on the design on the sleeve. The frilly cuff is for the woman, and the man has a gentleman cuff. Fede rings can be made of gold or silver or any type of material. The hands clasp motif can be solid metal or carved into a stone like an intaglio, or have a diamond or ruby to represent love. The Fede ring may also have 1, 2, 3 bands to make up the Fede ring. When a Fede ring has the ability to split open into multiple rings, or when the bands are riveted together, this is known as a Gimmel ring. There could be 2 bands or 3 bands that make up the Gimmel ring. When the Gimmel Fede ring is closed, it typically clasps a heart. Both betrothed parties, the bride and the groom, wears a band of the Fede Gimmel ring, and upon marriage, the rings are brought together, and the bride wears the ring in its entirety. Depending on the number of individual ring bands, a third party who brought the betrothed together would also wear a band from the ring, which typically is the heart center. Keep in mind that a Gimmel ring may or may not be a Fede ring, and a Fede ring may or may not be a Gimmel ring. Another type of Fede ring is known as the popular Irish Claddagh ring, first surfacing in the 1600s in Claddagh, Ireland, an area close to Galway. The Claddagh ring depicts the clasped right hands and adds a heart between the hands, and the biggest difference is that the Claddagh ring has a crown on top of the ring. The clasping hands symbolize friendship, the heart represents love, and the crown signifies loyalty. The symbolism of the Claddagh ring is closely tied to the ancient Celtic tradition of hand fasting. During matrimony, in which rings were exchanged, the couple joins hands in front of witnesses and proclaims their promise of marriage. The hands of the betrothed were tied together during the ceremony and then loosened after the marriage was consummated. Others had the tradition of hands being tied only during the ceremony. How the Claddagh ring is worn on one's hands holds special significance. Worn on the right hand with the heart pointing away from the wearer means the wearer is not romantically linked or single. Worn on the right hand with the heart pointed towards the wearer implies the wearer is in a relationship. If one is engaged, the ring is worn on the left hand's third finger with the heart facing away from the wearer. If one is married, the ring is worn on the left hand's third finger with the ring pointing towards the wearer. The Fede, Gimmel, and Claddagh rings are very unique historical ring designs that are steeped in ancient lore and tradition. The rings represent eternal love and life, and thus is a great symbol of matrimony that is both beautiful and thoughtful.